Welcome to Warrington. Our town has been at the heart of the Northwest for generations, being home to some of the UK's biggest industries, including boxworks, soapworks, wireworks, even cotton mills, and also acting as an RAF airbase during the Second World War. So I'm here to take you on a journey through Warrington from its past to its present. Along the way, we'll be exploring the history, sport, music and food culture that make Warrington so amazing, and most of all, the inspiring people behind the town as a whole. And the history starts right here in Bank Park, where the Golden Gates in 1899, originally meant for Sandringham for Queen Victoria, were sent to Warrington as a gift. Determined to shine a light on some of the inspirational people that make Warrington great, I first got my running shoes on and made my way down to Warrington Park Run to meet some of the devoted volunteers and staff that help the park run to take place every week. And it didn't take long for me to meet this guy, inspirational volunteer Richard, who was keen to explain to me how Warrington Park Run worked and what it was all about.
Yes, it's free. It happens every week. We've got a big free car park over there. You might want to see there. So we've got plenty of capacity, very close to the start and finish line. So people don't have to spend any money. As I say, it's completely free, and it's getting a huge amount of people out, possibly who might not normally come out to run on their own, but they're coming out to be part of a group and not be embarrassed if they're slow or want to walk or whatever.
Oh, that's fantastic. Is there anything special about Warrington Park Run, whether it's the course or the volunteers that are involved in it, that makes it special in Warrington as a town?
Well, we're an out and back course, so we're not one of these parks where you just turn up and run around and do about 5 loops and get bored to death. We do a quick loop round the park and then we go down the Black Bear path and we do basically out and back. So we end up running along the Manchester Ship Canal for a portion, which people seem to enjoy because when visitors come, they like seeing things of interest like that. We are told that the Warrington volunteers are very friendly, so people like coming here. So we always get large numbers. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if we had knocking on the door about 600 people today. And we're flat. We're a flat course, and that is a big thing, because it means that it just attracts. We get a lot of people who might not necessarily consider themselves as runners, who come and they just do a light jog or a walk, and they enjoy it because it's. And we're also quite central to the town, so we're not just like skewed with one end of the town that turn up. We get people from all over the town, and we've had fabulous attendance. So yeah, I think we're just very friendly, and it's just a good part of the community. We get our local MP comes virtually every week, and we've had Chris Evans come, we've had Alistair Campbell come, we've had we've had one or two other people come. So yeah, we're well known. We've been mentioned on the London Marathon programme a few years ago, and Louise Blizzard was a record
500 park runs last week, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yes, I know. She breaks so many records. I don't know, but she's leading the London Marathon ladies participation. So
I had a great chat with Richard, and he later told me that he'd done nearly 200 park runs himself and decided to volunteer 8 years ago to be a part of the local community. He also said that Christmas Day was a record park run this year with 600 people in attendance. After this, I hopped back on my bike and travelled to my next stop, which was the new multi-award winning Warrington Market. Currently home to more than 50 independent traders, I wanted to learn more about the market's success. And once again, it didn't take long for the people of Warrington to willingly reach out. And this time, I got talking to fruit and veg shop owner Rob, who gave me a great insight into the market's success, as well as telling me his amazing story as an independent trader.
Hello, yeah, like you said, I'm Robert Lester, so I own Warrington Fruit and Veg in Warrington Market. So I've had a store here now for 8 years. So I first started in the market because my dad owns the fishmongers and Hughes Fish Game and Poultry. So I worked there for 4 years. So I worked there through school, and then when I left college, I got a temporary 2 month job on a fruit and veg store, and then 2 months has turned into 8 years. So yeah, so I ended up taking the business over because I fell in love with working in the market.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's brilliant. And if you could say as a whole, what kind of impact do you think Warrington Market's had on the town centre?
So the market is a very community based, I feel. So it's like, especially for me, we get customers who come in, day out, every week. Like we always have a chat with them. So it's got that very big community feel around the market. And then that's also been added with the food court as well. So you get a lot like, because shopping's changed massively in the past 10 years
Yeah.
with online shopping. So you've got to look at with how can you compete against online shopping, and the social China shopping is one way we can do that. So having the food court here is a massive bonus to the market. So because it offers the social side of shopping, and then you can come in, get your fresh fruit and veg, your fresh meat, all your traditional market things as well. And then with the impact of that, we've noticed a lot of people outside of Warrington also come into the market as well. So we get people who's like all over the northwest who will be here for like the first time in Warrington, and they come especially for the market as well.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
Is there any last minute advertising you'd like to do for Warrington Fruit and Veg? Anything like that?
Yeah, so like I say, we're only a small business, so any support is very appreciated. But one thing I will try and plug is the Young Traders Market, if that's okay.
Oh,
because so the Young Traders Market is it's a national competition, but it starts with local heats. So Warrington Market is doing a Young Traders Market, Warrington Young Traders Market on the 23rd of May as well.
Brilliant.
So it's free for people to join. So as long as you're between the ages of 16 and 30, you can apply, you can have a stall within the market on that day, and then it's a good way for people to expose themselves. And like I say, it's a competition, so you can go into regional heats and national heats as well. So if there's anyone watching who's interested, get in touch with either myself at Warrington Fruit and Veg or Warrington Market, and we can get you on there as well.
It was fantastic talking to Rob, and as a proud Warringtonian, it felt great to be learning so much more about my hometown. For my next stop, I wanted to take a step into the rugby league culture that many would argue gives Warrington its identity as a town.
I've now made my way to another iconic landmark in Warrington's history, the Halliwell Jones Stadium itself. I want to draw attention to a particular Warrington legend.
This legend was Brian Bevan, the Wire's all-time leading point scorer. Said to be quite a shy and quiet man, Bevan definitely let his rugby do the talking by helping Warrington to win 2 Challenge Cups, 3 Rugby League Championships, a Lancashire Cup and 6 Lancashire League titles in his 16-year career with the Wire. During this, he went on to play right up until he was 40. In rugby league, Bevan is still classed as one of the greats of the game by being one of very few to make it into both the British and Australian Halls of Fame.
Bevan managed to score an unbelievable 796 tries in just 688 appearances for Warrington.
This table gives a great insight into the rugby league legends that Bevan ranks amongst based off his try tally. After immersing myself in some of the Wire's iconic history, I next turn my attention to how the club is important in 2026. This involved taking a closer look into the club's community foundation, first established back in 2005. I did this by attending one of their many weekly disability sports sessions.
Here with Finlay Colopy now, who's the head of the disability football team at the foundation. Now, what does it mean to be a part of the great work that this foundation's doing?
Yeah, it's a massive honour and a privilege, being a Warrington born lad, you always dream of working for your hometown club. And obviously being such a young age, having the opportunity, and, this badge, you know, the Warrington Wolves badge, it speaks a million words. It's for the people of this town. It's some place we call home, and I like to say I enjoy the work that I do, and it's the best experience of my life being part of the Warrington Wolves Foundation.
Oh, that's brilliant. And what are the impacts of these kinds of sessions like today in the local community?
Yeah, they make a massive impact. They go a long, long way. Obviously, we're here to make sure all our participants have fun under our Warrington Wolves badge, and we have a highly experienced full of coaches, different ranges of abilities, who come and just want to have a laugh with their friends and have a great time.
I had a really inspiring chat with Finn, and he later explained to me the fact that this year, Warrington MP Charlotte Nichols, who attended the same session I did just a few weeks earlier, is raising money for the foundation by running the London Marathon.
As well as a rugby match at the Halliwell Jones Stadium, another thing you cannot afford to miss out on if you're travelling to Warrington is a show at the iconic Parr Hall. It goes back decades, a bit like Warrington's music culture. Over the years, Warrington has been home to very many famous musicians, including the likes of Ian Brown for the Stone Roses, and bands like Star Sailor, and even the great Viola Beach. It's also important to note Warrington's rich entertainment history, including actors like Pete Postlethwaite and Tim Curry, both coming from the town. This is as well as media personalities in recent years like Chris Evans and the unforgettable Luke Littler.
And it's also important to note that the Parr Hall is ever evolving, as currently a £4.9 million redevelopment project is taking place at the Pyramid Arts Centre just next door. This is set to boost Warrington's local economy by allowing the venue to host more shows and events designed to sustainably develop local talent by upskilling young people to become professionals within the creative industries.